So, after a month of being away,
Really?
it's been a month, I think.
It's really
It's been a month. It's been a month that we've lost the laptop. The laptop is down and out.
So
we got old school notes. So is what?
So is the iPad.
The pad, for some reason, touching the pad stopped working. The screen on the laptop stopped working.
My phone screen is starting to bug out.
Mine is too. We're due for some upgrades. They'll come. We'll get there eventually. But we are old school pencil to paper for our notes. For G13 and
K13.
K13. Smackdown was tonight. I wish we would have been doing this for the past couple of weeks. There's been a lot of big things going on in wrestling.
Day
1 was cool. What was Smackdown? Was it New Year's resolution? Yeah. But we'll talk about today. So today, Grayson Waller comes out with Austin Theory. And then I'm pretty sure it was Cameron Grimes that came out to fight Grayson Waller. And the bloodline comes out and attacks Cameron Grimes. And then Solo and Jimmy chase Austin Theory and Grayson Waller out of the ring. Paul Heyman grabs the mic, starts complaining about the Fatal 4-Way. Yeah. And then Nick Aldis is like, well, keep up your complaining because now the bloodline has to face Orton, AJ, and LA Knight for the main event. And since Reigns isn't there, the bloodline has to find a third member. I kind of knew they weren't going to find one. No one wants to wrestle the bloodline.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to wrestle against the bloodline. That was a pretty big bang. And then SmackDown kind of died off for a while. It was one of those slow-moving SmackDowns tonight. We had Angel and Humberto versus Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro from the LWO.
And the girl came out with them.
Selena Vega came out with them, and then Santos Escobar came out with Angel and Humberto. Angel and Humberto end up winning this match. But do you remember who came out during the match? It's cool.
Dang. Almighty Father.
No. Close. Carlito. Carlito's music hits. Santos stands up, and Carlito comes from behind and gets Santos out of there. But Angel and Humberto end up winning because during the pin, can't remember who used the rope. Anyways, they used the rope as leverage for the pin. And then we go to a promo with Carmelo Hayes talking to Nick Aldis about how the blue brand looks good on him. And
Grayson Waller and
Austin Theory interrupt. And it looked like at that moment Carmelo was getting ready to say, I want to come and enter myself for the Royal Rumble. Well, because Grayson Waller and Austin Theory interrupted, later on the night we have a Austin Theory versus Carmelo Hayes match later on.
I keep forgetting his game because I get mixed up with Carlito and Carmelo.
He's kind of new to the bigger brands. He's in NXT. He's pretty good. I like Carmelo. He's fun to watch in the ring. Before this, we had before Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory match, we have Bianca Belair versus Bayley. I think Bianca Belair's.
I like Bianca.
You like Bianca? I like Bianca too.
Bianca's one of my favorite wrestlers.
Bianca wins this match, which I would assume. But do you remember what was going on during the match?
Bayley tied Bianca's towards the end of the match.
Yeah.
Bayley tied Bianca's what's it called? Long ponytail, I guess.
Yeah, for ponytail.
Ponytail on the rope, and then the ref was like, "Don't do that." And Bianca said, "It's fine." And then Bayley runs towards it, and Bayley uses it against her.
Yeah, trips her up with her hair tied to the rope, right? Do you remember what else was going on during that match? Damage control.
Bayley asked Damage Control to join in, but then they're like, no, because we don't really want to drag attention.
Right. So usually when there's a Damage Control match, Bayley interferes and, kind of gets some hits on to the person, whoever other Damage Control is wrestling. Well, Bayley kept throwing Bianca out of the ring towards Damage Control, and Damage Control wouldn't do nothing. They just kind of looked at Bianca, and Bayley's like, what's going on? So they used the excuse they didn't want her to get a DQ. And Bayley's like, So we got back to more friction with damage control. Like for a minute there, they were going to be okay. Now we got friction again with damage control. And then our next match was Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. That was a fun match to watch. They're both athletic. They both are strong. I mean, they're good.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can I take the last match?
Yeah, you can. You already asked me that before this.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But so Carmelo was up in the corner, and then Austin tried to do a sit down off the top rope suplex, and he didn't get the bounce he needed. And I'm looking at it, it didn't look good. I don't think any one of them is really injured. I don't know. The referee threw up the X because they couldn't continue. But I don't know if that was storyline. If it was, Austin Theory and Carmelo made it look really, really good. Because Austin looked like he didn't know where he was for a minute. Carmelo you can just tell like Carmelo didn't land right. He wasn't hurt. I mean, he wasn't injured, but he was hurt. Both of them were hurt. I don't think either one of them's injured. They're going to be fine, I think. But we'll follow along on social media and see what happens to either one of them. Hope everyone's okay. Austin's fun to watch. Don't like his character. I like to watch him wrestle. I like Carmelo and his character. So let's just hope they're okay.
I like Carmelo better.
Right.
Grayson Waller, I don't really care for it, but I like to watch him fight and stuff.
So the last match. You got it?
I think I got it. So last match was the Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight.
That's there for.
Oh, right. Versus Solo and Jim. Versus
Solo
and Jimmy.
Right, because
they didn't find a third member.
And Roman Reigns isn't there.
No.
Wasn't there.
So we forgot a sign of the night.
I didn't see any.
Me neither.
I didn't there was one that was held up close, but it was so quick in and out with the crowd. I couldn't really see a sign.
Yeah, and we didn't have a highlight either.
Well, I think I got one in the back of my head I'm gonna use. If you want to say one here after this match, you can.
Mine was.
Let's do the match first.
All right.
The notes are right there, buddy.
So Randy Orton comes out.
Right.
Solo and Jimmy attack from behind.
Right.
Solo does the solo spike.
Right.
The
solo spike, yes.
Solo spike, and then he goes out, and then
Orton gets knocked out. Orton walks himself back to the backstage.
Right.
So he exits the match.
And then Jimmy and Solo walk to the ring.
Right.
And then we hear LA Knight and AJ Styles music hit.
Yes.
And then it's a 2-on-2.
Right.
Did you really have any favorite moves on this?
From that match? Well, my highlight of the night's from that match, so I'll save it for the end.
Yeah. And then kind of forgot what happened at this match.
Well, the main story of the match is LA Knight and AJ Styles not getting along.
So when the bell rings, they argue about. So they argue
at the beginning of the match.
At the beginning of the match, they argue. LA Knight and AJ Styles argue who's gonna go first.
Right.
Jimmy attacks LA Knight from behind.
Right.
And then it's Jimmy versus AJ.
Yep. No, Jimmy versus LA.
Really?
Yeah, because he hit LA first, so it makes LA the person who goes first.
Oh, so LA.
Yeah.
And then it's not looking too. We cut to commercial.
Yeah.
It's not really looking too good and then let's see, AJ Styles and then right after commercial it's AJ Styles.
I don't really remember the order of things.
Yeah. But then it's not really looking too good for the two teams. Basically not LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Right.
And then AJ Styles picks it back up.
Yeah. And
then when all looks bad, we hear someone's music hit.
Yeah.
I hear voices in my head.
Yeah.
So Randy Orton comes back out, fights through the pain. Solo Sikoa's like, oh my gosh, she survived.
Yeah.
And then, because he knocked out John Cena, which I'm really upset about.
Right.
And then And then he does, what's that one called, where he hangs her from the rope and then slaps her back?
Hanging DDT.
Hanging DDT. He does that.
To
Jimmy. And then we see them all fighting together on the outside of the ring. And then, Orton RKO's Jimmy for the win.
Yep.
But then they're fighting out ring again.
Yes.
And then AJ Styles, well, yeah.
Now, before this match, I said I'm getting tired of Solo, them protecting Solo. It seems like Solo never gets into, like, any trouble as far as, like, getting any kind of, like, punishment or, like, any hits. But he gets it in this match. He gets a lot. Because he gets a phenomenal forearm. He gets an RKO.
And
he gets a BFT. And then he gets the steel stairs to the head. Like,
no, that was Jimmy that got steel stairs.
Solo did too.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say that. So AJ Styles threw Jimmy into the stairs when Randy Orton was holding up like this. So, yeah, we thought Roman Reigns was going to come out.
Yeah, I figured he would show up.
No. And then
that was the end of that. Of course, it ended with Paul Heyman saying on his cell phone, call Roman Reigns. And then it cuts away.
I hate when it does that.
Yeah, I know.
I kind of hate when it...
The timing of they do good timing, though. But anyways, what was your highlight of the night?
Bianca using her hair as a tripwire.
That was pretty cool. My favorite was when Randy first went for the RKO on Jimmy. Jimmy counters it and then gives Randy the super kick. And then Randy acts like he's stunned, and as Jimmy walks over, he snaps out of it and gives him an RKO for the win. That was my highlight of the night.
Yeah.
That was it?
Yeah.
You good with that?
I'm good.
Good recap?
I'm happy we got
Good recap!